Assalamualaikum, grade 5. This is the summary video for today lesson. Subject Science, Class 5, Unit 2, Life Cycle of Flowering Plant, Lesson 2.5, Pollination, from Learner book, page number 27. So, first of all, learning objective. What you learned today in the class. I know that insect pollinate some flowers, and also how pollen transfer from male part to the female part, or from male stamen to the stigma, and also we solved the exercise in the class. First of all, revised from the previous lesson. Have you noticed bees, butterflies, and other insects on flowers? They are moving pollen from the stamen to the stigma of a flower. This process is called pollination. So, what is pollination? Transfer of pollen from the male part, from the stamen to the stigma of the flower. And how many ways to transfer to move pollen? There are two main ways that pollen is carried or transferred from the stamen to the stigma: by insects and by wind. How by insect? Flowers pollinated by insect usually have brightly colored, scented petals. Some flowers also make nectar. Some flowers also make nectar, a sweet liquid. Insects visit the flower to feed on the nectar. So like this, their body, or they get covered in pollen. Their body get covered with pollen and carry the pollen to the stigma of the same flower or other flower. And I also explained about cross pollination and self pollination. Self pollination with the same flower, pollen transfer within the same flower, and cross pollination from one flower to another flower. And also by wind, how with the help of wind pollen transfer. Flowers, some flowers don't have brightly colored, don't have petal, no have smell, no scent. So like this, wind, with the help of wind, pollinated flower make lots of pollen. Pollen blows in the wind from the stamen to the stigma of other flower. After this, we solved the exercise during the class. Why do flowers pollinated by insect have brightly colored, scented petals and nectar? So simple: to attract insects. To attract insect. Why do flowers pollinated by wind? Why do flowers? If you cut the line, you have to understand the question. Why do flower pollinated by wind have little color, no petal or scent? It's mean, why do flower have little color, no petal or scent? Yes. So you can say to transfer pollen. To transfer pollen with the help of wind. So insect not coming to that kind of flower because no petal, no scent, no color. So with the help of wind, this kind of flower transfer pollen. Why do flowers pollinated by wind produce lots of dry pollen? Yes, because dry pollen is carried further in the wind. It's dry, so can move further in the wind. They need lots of pollen because the wind blow it in all directions and not only onto other flower. Okay, if you have dry, so it will move because it's have lots of pollen, so it will move in all direction easily. How does pollination help the plant reproduce? How does pollination help the plant to reproduce? The male pollen to the pollination bring the male pollen to the female carpel or stigma, so that fertilization can take place to form seeds. And the last question: explain how pollination is different to fertilization. Yes, pollination is transfer pollen from male to female part, and fertilization in which egg and pollen are joined together. So let's write: pollination is when pollen is carried from the stamen to the stigma of the flower and should be the same kind. Fertilization is when the pollen and eggs cell join together in the ovary of the flower. So this is fertilization. So the flower should be or must be of the same type of fertilization. then it will be occur. And what you have learned in this lesson, pollination bring pollen from the stamen to the stigma. How pollination, what the definition of pollination, and how pollen transfer from male part to female part. Flowers pollinated by insect have bright color, scent, petals, and nectar. And flower pollinated by wind, by insect have all these things. By wind have little color, not brightly color, have no petal, not have petal, and scent also no any kind of scent, and lots of pollen. All these things don't have enough, but have lots of pollen. And with the help of wind, it can easily, yeah, it can easily move. Okay. After this, fertilization happened when the sorry, fertilization happened when the pollen and egg join inside the ovary. Fertilization will happen when pollen and eggs join together in the ovary. The fertilization eggs become seeds and ovary becomes fruit. At the end, vocabulary word: pollinate, pollination, fertilization, petal, sepal, anther, carpel, style, stigma, stamen, and some. Uh, okay, pollinate, pollination, fertilization, petal, sepal, anther, carpel, style, stigma, stamen, and ovary. Okay, everyone. Uh, just rewrite the write the vocabulary word and memorize it and attempt Kahoot quiz. I will send on Thursday tomorrow. So kindly complete your homework. Goodbye. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.